Hey there, this is Travis Willingham, and you're listening to DDO Players News Podcast.
Hey now, everybody, it's Drac in post-editing. Just wanted to apologize once again, unfortunately, for the audio quality in this episode. Not sure what the heck is going on with my trusty Blue Yeti mic. It just kind of decides to do its own thing when we record the show for some reason. It works great until we start recording, and then, So I edited the show as much as I could in post-editing, fixed the audio a little bit. It's still not great, not up to my audio quality standards for the show, but it is what it is, I guess. I am going to get to the bottom of it and get it fixed. But enjoy the episode, and thanks for supporting the show and listening. Hey now, everybody, it is Drac from DDO Players, where we take a look at the latest from the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online, the tabletop, and beyond. I am your host, Drac, as I said. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. I am joined by the one, the only, the fan favorite. People clamor to have you back, so here you are. It's Mr. Evil Beeker.
Don't embarrass me too much, jeez. Thank you.
I mean, I have to, because you're like the only celebrity I really know. So
I'm not a celebrity. Stop it. Not a celebrity, just a gamer.
That's like a in joke between us, by the way. I always call him a celebrity, and he always gets upset about it, but it's all right. He's a celebrity, and he knows it. He's just, I
am not.
Well, anyway, exactly. How is it going?
It's going okay. I was pretty sick last week this time, but I'm better now. So, lots to do. Summer's been a busy place for me.
Yeah, it has. I agree. For me too. And yeah, there's some nasty stuff going around. I'm knocking on wood. I don't get it. Because from what you had said, it's pretty nasty, and from what I've heard, it's pretty nasty. So here's hoping that stays away.
Yeah, and us old guys got to watch out because
indeed
those things can be deadly. But anyway, enough about me.
Indeed, we're not here to talk about you. We're here to talk about the server merge that's coming up on Tuesday, as a matter of fact. The day is finally upon us, so I hope you are ready for all the excitement that is going to entitle us moving characters to the new 64-bit worlds. They did post a transfer guidance post over on DDO.com. You can find a link to that in the show notes. They are going through how you do it, what to do, when to do it, and all of that fun stuff. So we will talk about that here. Once again, Tuesday, July 15th, 2 p.m. is when the transfers are going to open up. So that's when you can transfer to either Shadowdale, Thrain, Cormyr, or Moonsea. So those are your choices that you can have. Once again, Moonsea is for the EU, so EU players probably want to choose that. I mean, nothing's stopping American players from transferring over to Moonsea too. Like, so if you have some friends that are in the EU and you want to play with them, just be known that server actually is physically in the EU somewhere. They haven't specifically said where, but it's somewhere there. So your ping times might reflect that if you're in America, and vice versa for anybody in the EU that transfers to either Cormyr, Thrain, or Shadowdale. Those are in the US. So same thing, your ping times might vary a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to jump online Tuesday night and do a test character.
Yeah. Yep.
to see how things go at them. I mean, my plan was to move my primary character, my guild leader, and then once that was finished, then I would slowly move everybody else.
Yeah.
Just remember, people, you don't have to do them all in one day.
Yeah, exactly. You have until August 31st, so plenty of time. So, and keep in mind, too, everybody else is going to be transferring characters at the same time. So, it might be a slow process for a while. So, just keep that in mind as well. But we've talked about this last episode, kind of how the process is going to work. You're going to prepare your character, and then you're going to pack it. Then you're going to transfer it. then you're going to unpack it. So once again, Tuesday, July 15th at 2 p.m., this is when this is going to open up. And then that's when you can have access to that /transfer pack function. So you're going to log into your current server, log into the character that you want to get ready, do anything that you want to do, which there's a couple things we'll talk about here in a minute that you might want to consider. And then once you're all set, do /transfer pack, and then that's going to pack it. And then after you have it packed, you will you will go to your character screen, and you're going to see that it's going to say if it's packed or not. So you'll have your list of characters like you normally do in your character screen. If you have done the /transfer pack command, it's completed, it's going to say packed on the character selection screen.
Right. And then when you log back in, then you log all the way out. But then when you log back in, it says, then log out and back into the game launcher to transfer.
Yep. And then there'll be where you normally hit play to play. Right underneath the play button is going to be a button that says transfer. And then you're going to hit that transfer, and then you're going to pick whatever server that you're going to go to. And then it's going to move your character over there, which they're saying in their testing it only took seconds, but keep in mind how many people are going to be doing this at once, so times may vary. It might vary, so keep that in mind. But then once you and you should get a message that says the transfer was successful. Once you get that, you're going to log into your new server, so whatever the 64-bit servers that you had chose, and then you're going to do /transfer unpack once you log into that character, and then it's going to unpack everything. Magically, everything is going to be there. There's going to be no problems, we hope. So we'll see how this goes. So it's pretty straightforward. It seems like it sounds like it's complicated, but it's fairly straightforward, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure somebody will goof it up. And
yeah,
according to this, they're going to have support on hand.
Yep. So if you screw up, don't panic. Just reach out to support, and they will help you. Yeah, they should be able to help you. So they did put a little frequently asked questions and further guidance here. If you are a guild leader, you're going to have to do a couple extra things. Once you do on your character that you are a guild leader, once you do the /transfer pack command, most of the information about the current state of your guild is going to be packed with your character. So all of the guild info and stuff is going to be tied to your character. And then when you unpack that on the new world, that's when the guild is going to be created and all of the information is going to go. So they did want to remind you that the guild airship and information about the contributions of gold and national shards are going to be packed with the guild leader character. Guild members do not need to wait to unpack before they unpack. So if you happen to move before your guild leader moves, it will be fine. You're just not going to be a member of any guild until your guild leader, unpacks that character that's the guild leader, and then that's what's going to create the guild, and then you'll automatically get invited because all that information is stored with him.
Right. And like I said before, I'll probably do a test character, and then once that's good, then I'll bring over my guild leader and unpack, and then I'll send out a message to everybody saying, "Hey, we're all done."
Then they did remind you, we talked about this last week too, that please ensure that any guild chests are empty of any items you wish to keep, because those are not going to transfer to the destination world. So if you do have anything in your guild chest, you need to get them out of there, because they are going to be lost permanently once you pack. So Make sure your guild chest is empty.
Right. But the big thing is the guild renown decay, which they are pausing.
Yes, that is new from last episode.
Yep, yeah. So everybody complained that guild decay is going to, shave a bunch of levels off their guild. So they are pausing it all the way through the transfer process, August 31st.
So yeah, that's cool. So basically, what that means is if you have people in your guild that are long gone, stopped playing the game a long time ago, normally you're going to take a little hit because they're not playing anymore and they're not adding to your guild. That's pausing, as we said, till August 31st. So also keep in mind, which I think this is new. I don't remember them talking about that. Your airship wall, your ring, and other cosmetic selections are not going to be transferred as well. They
don't have any.
Going to create a coupon code. Well, you can get some for free because they're going to create a coupon code that we'll talk about here in a second. Another little thing with guilds to keep in mind: your officers and your successors are not going to transfer over. So once your officers log in, you're going to see them auto join the guild. They're not going to be an officer though, so you're just going to have to reset officer status to whatever characters you want, and then your successor, because that's not going to move over either.
Sure. I was also thinking, Drac, that you could leave. Well, I guess that wouldn't work either. To see who, how would you tell who didn't come over? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Is there a way to do a roster and then on August 31st check it again? I suppose you could probably do screenshots.
Yeah, you could screenshot it, I guess. Would be the only way that I can think of.
Yeah, because that was the other thing people are saying. Well, people got toons in their guild that they never play. They just sit there, but they're afraid to take them out because they'd lose renown.
Right. And then they did suggest you do not create a guild because if you do that, all of your information that is stored with your character is going to be erased. So just if you're a guild leader, do not hit the create a button. Just unpack your character and your guild is going to be recreated for you and everything is going to be hunky-dory. So
yeah. Scrolling through this list, scrolling through this list, it looks like everything else is the same.
Yeah.
But we were talking last night when we were playing. The one thing I didn't realize was and which is actually very important, was everybody needs to go through their monster manual. I missed that when I was reading through stuff the first time. Because if you have unclaimed rewards like pets or mysterious remnants, you're going to lose them when you transfer over.
Nothing from the monster manual will be transferred over. So, check your monster manuals, claim all your stuff, see what you are, because it's all going to be in a fresh state once you move over. But on the plus side, that means you can earn all the rewards again, though. So,
correct.
I mean,
correct.
Plus side?
Yeah, maybe a little. It's hard to say. And there's a coupon code for 100 slots, all caps, that they're offering now to give out 100 free shared bank spaces to help you move all your stuff over, especially if you're deleting characters, but hey, this guy's got something good, I want to throw it in the bank. And I know my shared bank was full on Kyber. So the extra 100 slots really helps.
Yes, it does. So another code, there's a couple other codes. So if you had, once we said your guild airship cosmetics, they're not moving over, they're going to be lost. They have codes. These codes are going to work starting July 15th. So basically when the servers transfers happen. Do this on your new world, though. Don't do it on the old world because that would be silly. You can use this code through July 15th through December 31st. There's a couple codes: airship ring, airship hull, airship stain, and airship sail. And that is going to replace all the cosmetics that you will lose if you have those. But if you don't have those, you will be able to claim free ones. That was pointed out on the Fridays at Poor stream. Somebody in the stream asked that, and Cordovan did say yes. If you don't have any of these, you can use these codes, and you're going to get those. So if your airship doesn't have any of this stuff now, I guess on the new world it will.
They have skulls.
Not that I'm aware of, but that would be really, really awesome.
I know. Hey, Jerry, we need skulls on our airship.
Yeah, we do. So let's just go over once again what does not transfer over. So keep this in mind. This stuff is not going to transfer over. I know we're kind of sounding like a broken record, but a lot of people, I don't think, are paying attention to some of this stuff. So your monster manual, progress, and unclaimed rewards, your mailboxes of all your characters will need to be emptied of any items you do not wish to lose. So make sure you, like, if you have items in your mail that you haven't claimed yet or whatever, do that, because those are going away. Auction house listing, your bids, your winnings, and deposit of platinum are astral shards. Also, we're not going to move over. Your guild rank, unless you are the guild leader. The guild leader, that when he packs, like we talked about, all that's going to attach to the guild leader. Your daily dice free roll status, so that's going to reset. So if you've already done your gold roll, you're going to get another gold roll because it's going to reset. It doesn't know you've already done it. Once again, the guild ship chest storage, which this is kind of a boo, your friends list and your /ignore list. So that kind of stinks. You're going to have to reset those.
Again, I know you can capture your friends list, but how do you figure out who you're all ignoring?
I don't think you can.
I remember ignoring guys years ago.
Yeah.
Because they would message me and I was like, yeah, I don't know who you are. Ignore.
Yeah, I don't think you can. If anybody knows, let us know. But I don't think you can. And then what's going to happen to the old worlds, the 32-bit game worlds, after August 31st? That's how long you have to transfer. After August 31st, 2025, the 32-bit game worlds are going to close. These game worlds will reopen shortly afterwards, and they are going to be known as ghost worlds. What this means is players can still log into these worlds, access their account features, and you can run the /transfer pack command on any characters that you didn't move over. Like maybe you had some characters you're like, I don't really need this character, and then later on you decide, I'd kind of like to have that over on one of the new worlds. You'll be able to do that, but that's it. That's all you're going to be able to do on the worlds. You're not going to be able to quest. You're not going to be able to gain XP. You're not going to be able to do basically any gameplay. You're going to be able to log in, do the transfer command, and that's it. After that, they didn't say how long the ghost worlds will stay up for you to move any characters over. They didn't say how long that's going to be. But after that, it's going to go away. They're going to close. Oh, I'm sorry. They did say the worlds will remain open for at least 2 years to facilitate any final transfers. So you're basically going to have until 2027 to get any final characters off those ghost worlds. After that, they're going away.
So could you log in and just run around?
No.
Oh.
It sounds like you can't do anything. You can log in and you log into the game and you can do the /transfer, and that's really about it. It sounds like you can't do anything on the world. They have them basically locked, I guess, to where you can't actually play at all.
Well, I'm not talking about playing. I'm talking about just running around.
That'd be kind of fun to see, but it sounded like to me, no, you can't.
Okay.
It's basically, they're just like dead worlds. That would be awesome, just run around and like with nothing. It's just be like this big giant empty world. Oh, that would be pretty funny. And they did point out too that keep in mind all of this transferring, unpacking, it's going to cause lag. So keep that in mind. Bear that in mind for a while. My feeling is I think just like maybe Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be the worst because that's when the bulk of the people are going to be doing their stuff, like the first couple days. So it's probably going to be pretty laggy the first couple days. And then after that, it should, kind of level out and we'll be good because we'll be on 64-bit. And as we found when we were doing the Lanterns event, the 64-bit worlds were pretty good for the lag. I mean, if you ad lag, it wasn't that bad.
Well, in the beginning, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was twitchy, but it recovered. It recovered pretty good.
Yeah.
But even now, I've gone back to Cormier a couple of times, and I haven't had anything. It's been perfect.
So we'll see what happens Tuesday. Once again, Tuesday is the day, starting at 2 p.m. So good luck to anybody that does it right away. I won't be able to do it till I get home from work, so we'll see how it goes. And knock on wood, nobody is going to be mean and take my name, which I'm hoping people don't do that, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it if they do, because like I said, I'm going to be at work when this opens, so I mean, cool. I'm hoping that it's not the case, but so I'm asking you, please don't do that. Don't create a Draculetta. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Indeed.
Anything else on server transfers before we move on to the next thrilling discussion topic?
No, other than everybody, good luck and stay calm, relax.
Indeed.
Namaste, and just if you get into trouble, call Jerry. We'll be
exactly. His cell phone number is I'm kidding, but yeah, no, it'll, as you said, stay calm. It will be fine. We'll all get through this. We're all in this together, so we'll get through it. They did release a little bit of information, sort of, kind of, about the Chill of Ravenloft and the loot. The big discussions on Discord and in the forums have been, hey, the loot of Chill of Ravenloft, is it going to have the rare loot system like Myth expansion did? Is that what you're doing here? And they sort of, kind of answered that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you and I have both gone on record that we've been a little disappointed with the Mithranor loot.
Yeah.
Not the loot itself, but the rarity.
The rare, right.
Yeah, and unless you have discoveries going and treasure hunters going, the loot drop is super rare. And I've been doing runs through the wilderness on Cormier, and it's one, because we're looking for the Fallen Age weapons, and I don't know if the rate drop is different in the Slayer area versus the quests, but I would say I was getting one Fallen Age weapon for every 30 chests.
Yeah, that's a
pretty bad
that
ratio.
Seems about right, though. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Now, I will say two things on that whole thing. Number one, I found a way around it, which hopefully some other people have already figured out. If you have a Chaos Mage and you have that treasure boost, it really works.
That's what you said, yeah.
I had like 3 chests and 3 items like the minute I walked in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if you're looking to do some loot runs, that might be a fix. But I will say one other thing. I mean, we played last night. We weren't doing Myth, but we were doing Sharn. And there's the plus 10% boost going on right now. We had a ton of drops.
Yeah, we did, actually.
Yeah. So and obviously they're not sharing the numbers about, what the actual percentages are,
right?
Other than I think they mention like the discoveries. The discoveries are, 5, 10, 15 or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But I got the kind of the willies about this because, I mean, everybody's greedy, everybody wants the rare loot,
right?
But when it's just frustrating as hell trying to get. I mean,
I understand. Like some of this loot, like I don't want it to drop every time you open a chest. Sure, I get it, but like you said, it gets frustrating when you open like 30 chests and you get like one of them for that 30 chest.
Right. Now, I will say, like last night we had a full party. We had 6 people, and that really helped the rate, because there was a couple of times like I didn't get anything, or you didn't get anything, but somebody else got something. Maybe they didn't want it. They put it up for grabs for everybody. Yeah. When we did Mithranor, it was just you and me.
That's true too. That kind of helps too, because I mean, I guess you have better odds because you have more people hitting RNG table, I guess. But so the Chill of Ravenloft, how it's going to work, Tolero posted over in the forums. We have been reading your feedback about our upcoming expansion, the Chill of Ravenloft, and your desire to learn more about the loot system it will contain, including info about the relative rarity of loot. Today we wanted to map out how treasure will work in the Chill of Ravenloft, especially as compared to in previous content and expansions. So with the Chill of Ravenloft, players are going to be able to create weapons using components they'll find for the Victorium crafting system in Lemuria. This will have similarities to what players experienced in the Isle of Dread. So components are gathered from questing. Certain key components, which are used to make the more powerful effects, are obtained either by raiding or by defeating rare landscape encounters. We are aiming for the access to ingredients to be similar to the Isle of Dread expansion.
Well, and I ran through all the quests on a different character. I wasn't with you because we were already past Isle of Dread and our cruising with Drac. And honestly, I got a couple of items, but I didn't
do anything with the crafting out there. So yeah. So I don't know if this is good or bad because, like I said, because we were like basically past that. And when I did Isle of Dread the first time, I didn't really pay attention. I don't remember getting anything. I know I didn't craft anything. So
right, me neither. Yeah.
And then Tolero goes on to say there will additionally be rare items to hunt for, which will provide fewer static effects but increase flexibility in the form of more Lemuria-specific augment slots. The Lemuria augments come from crafting them, similar to the Dino Bone augments. We're tuning the drop rates of those to be more generous than the recent update rares have been. Myth D was too rare, which they adjusted during update 71.2, increasing rates and also being mindful of whether a rare drop was gated behind the rarity of the encounter it was attached to. With the Chill of Ravenloft, they're increasing the rare drop rates from what they were in update 71.2.
Okay, well, that's encouraging.
So, good? Question mark?
Yeah, I don't necessarily like the crafting thing.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that either.
Yeah, I mean, I to be honest, I mean, despite all the rarity of the drops aside, I kind of like the Myth Draner thing where you had to find either the weapon you wanted just by happenstance, or you had to find two of them and then turn them into one. I mean, the one of the biggest game changers for DDO was everybody got a Barovian weapon at level 10 if they had the Ravenloft expansion.
Right.
Because those things were just kick ass compared to anything else.
Hell yeah, they were.
Level, yeah. Although I don't know what level green steel weapons are. I think they're a little higher than. I mean, they got to be higher than 10.
Yeah,
so,
I want to say 15, 16, maybe 17, somewhere around in there, like mid levels, maybe.
But this gave everybody a chance that had the expansion to get a decent weapon for fighting undead. Remember, I mean, back in the day, if you were doing Delaras and you didn't want to use that crappy holy -1 holy club, you just either, if you got a holy weapon, you held onto it and saved it every life and stuff like that. I mean, that's a pain in the butt. But every character can get the weapon that they're proficient in, that they're going to do the most DPS with, or it helps their spells the most right away after the very first quest in the Ravenloft expansion. That was cool. And now they did it again in Myth. And it was great. I mean, I've been using the Myth Draner Bastard Sword, the Fallen Age Bastard Sword.
That's the bow I'm currently using. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And that's been going great for like the mid-teens level quests.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a lot easier than we're making it out, but it might be a grinding. I don't want to use the word nightmare, but boy, it sure can be, especially if you got crappy drop rates.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
We'll see. It sounds like they're trying to do better, which is awesome. increasing the rare drops, coming up with a system that already exists that maybe other people besides grumpy old guys like us use. Which
that's true. It could be. And then also keep in mind, too, Chill of Ravenloft is 8 heroic and 36 legendary. I mean, is it going to be worth trying to get these weapons? I mean, maybe it depends on the weapons or the loot. I guess not necessarily weapons. I mean, it could be armor and stuff too, but I guess we'll see. So Tolero ends us off just by saying, when it comes to rare treasure, the ultimate goal is that we want obtaining a rare drop to feel meaningful and not rote. Not exactly sure what rote is. I've never seen that word in my life, but okay. But then
it's a word that the young kids
it must be. Get off my lawn. That when someone get one, it feels special. With that said, we also don't want it to feel insurmountable. So we continue to tune the rates so that we can hit the sweet spot of special but not impossible. We're expecting players to be able to try things out in the previous Lamania builds that came out, and then there's going to be another Lamania build not this week because of the transfers, but they said possibly next week there's going to be another Lamania. So go on, play with that, look at the loot, the drop rates and stuff, and give your feedback, because they are looking for that and they're expecting some good feedback, and that is the key. If you leave feedback for stuff like that, make it be constructive. Don't just say your lead system sucks. That's not going to help them.
Yeah, positive feedback
right.
always helps.
Yeah,
let's again, like the server transfers, everybody, let's be positive.
Yep. We'll see what happens. So there you go. I guess we'll see what happens. Chill of Ravenloft coming out soon. They still haven't actually set an exact date, but seems like
I'm sure it'll be after August 31st. I mean, they're going to have their hands full.
I would think so. I wouldn't think they would launch this with all these server transfers happening, but I guess we'll see. Then we do have store sales going on right now. You can store more loot, character banks, shared banks, deposit boxes, platinum storage, and inventory spaces and select bags, all on sale at 30% off. That runs through July 17th. And then you can get free Sage hair dye if you use the coupon code Leafy Greens. That is also.
I did not see that one. Copying that and put it in a notepad here.
Yeah, Leafy Greens. Get yourself some green sage hair dye.
There you go.
Wraps up our game news. Said the big thing in the game right now is these transfers. So next episode we'll talk about how great it went or how not so great it went.
Or check out Cruising with Drac on Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure we'll be talking about it.
We will, because hopefully we'll be playing on the new world then. So we'll see how it goes. Let's jump into From the Dungeon. As we have a lot to talk about in here, as we usually do. Dragonbane is getting some miniatures that are going to be on Kickstarter fairly soon in the future.
Yeah. And, I mean, I played Dragonbane. We haven't played in a while. But one of the cool things that they have been doing so far with miniatures is, like, all the pre-generated characters and some of the primary monsters, they've already had STL files out there for those through Mini Factory or My Mini Factory. Mm-hmm. But what was turning people off on that was it was a subscription service.
Oh, okay.
You just couldn't go and buy the ones that you wanted. I know that's why I didn't do it. But now I think they're putting together kind of like a thing. Nothing in the announcements that have happened so far have mentioned anything about whether they're selling the STL file.
Yes, they are. It will be after. They didn't say how long after the Kickstarter, but yes, everything that is going to be on the Kickstarter that you can buy physically, you will be able to get STLs. But they didn't. Then again, they didn't mention anything like it might be part of that subscription thing. They didn't mention that, but they did say that all the STLs will be available.
Okay, so I guess at this point it's kind of like a wait and see as to what the reward levels are.
Yeah,
and what's offered. I mean, for me, I would rather not have the physical ones and have the STL.
Yeah, it's same for me too because I can just print my own. So we'll see. But yeah, they didn't give a date for when to start. They just said the near future. So I guess read that in what you will. Could be a couple weeks, could be a month.
Yes, I mean, like I said, some of this already exists. So it's a question of, are they going to take that? Are they going to expand upon it? And a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, almost all of it is based on the art from the game. And they did an awesome job of duplicating this gentleman's art, whose name I always forget. It's Swedish or Finland or one of those type of names. So it's kind of hard to pronounce, but his art is really it reminds me a lot of like the uniqueness of the Planescape art back in the day.
Yeah,
where it has its own look and feel and stuff like that, and they really captured that really well in some of these miniatures. So I mean, even if you're not a Dragonbane player, you might want to check them out. Because they look pretty sharp.
Yeah, I will be sure to post once this Kickstarter goes live. I will put a post up for sure, so everybody can go check it out. Dungeons and Dragons. Let's talk about Hasbro and WotC. You knew it was coming, right? You had to. They are going to a unified franchise model now. They're officially a franchise. They have a new leader to lead us into this new era of D&D. It's Dan Ayub, I think is how you pronounce that. He was formerly the senior VP of digital games at Hasbro, so it's kind of an in-house promotion, as it were. He describes this as everything touching the franchise lives under one roof. Okay. Okay,
well, I mean, I have a couple of different thoughts on this for me. Number one, formerly Hasbro Senior VP of Digital Games. Does that mean he was the guy that was in charge of the death of their VTT project?
He sure was. Yes, sir. That was him.
Okay, well. All right,
not a good start so far, but okay.
Okay, yep, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, to me, franchising or licensing, because this word franchise is weird to me. I mean, back in the day, it was licensing. I mean, and TSR licensed a lot of stuff. I mean, there used to be D&D big wheels, for crying out loud.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. There was D&D big wheels?
You didn't know that?
I did not know this. This is like, okay, 8-year-old me wants a D&D big wheel now.
Yeah, I don't think they
I may or may not be looking on eBay as we speak.
Okay. Nope. They got pictures of it. Just Google D&D big wheels.
Yeah,
like the handlebars have a big dragon on it that's green, and the wheels. I only heard about this secondhand. We never had one at TSR. There was a lot of other stuff. There was like display cabinets with different licensed stuff, but I never saw a big wheel until a picture of it until a couple years later. I'm like, then I called Harold. We had a big wheel. He goes, yeah.
Okay, these things are freaking awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
They're probably worth a mint now too. Especially if you had the box. But anyway, so I mean, it was licensing. There was all kinds of D&D licensing back in the day. Calling it a franchise, to me, okay, that it's kind of the same thing, but what about the game? I mean, you're marketing a name, and yet you're putting out stuff for the game. You're barely putting out anything for the game. You know,
right.
Paizo and Cobalt Press and stuff like that are putting out more products in 2 months than you're putting out the entire year. And how can you do that and have your brand grow or your game grow, or are you just going to leave it static and do a couple of projects a year, and people are going to want more gaming and they're going to move away from you. So
which
I don't know.
We're seeing happening, right? I mean, that's happening already.
Yeah. So I don't understand I think D&D as a gaming product doesn't make as much money as D&D the Forgotten Realms TV series. And they would rather do that than focus on the original game. For an old-time gamer like me, that's an immediate turnoff. For kids today getting into the hobby and all this stuff, I don't have a tap on that. I don't know what they think if that's good or bad. I mean, like anything else, it's a show me what you got. But you're talking about a company that spent the last 2.5 years pumping this awesome 3D virtual tabletops experience, and then they just dumped it. And now where does the game move forward? I mean, obviously, all role-playing gaming a lot of it is moving online. I mean, I think there is a kind of like a thing now where more people are coming back to in-person gaming rather than remote, like post-COVID type of stuff.
Right.
But there's still massive amounts of people playing D&D online, whether you're using Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds or Foundry or any of the other ones there. And the young lady that plays Cruiser with Drac with us, Emily, she's been playing a game with that Tailspire with some friends of hers, and she thinks it's great. And it's like, why can't they focus on something like that? It's another one of these things where I think they bit off more than they can chew, and instead of taking a step back and reorganize it, they just throw it in the trash can and move on to some other big announcement that makes no sense. That's my thought.
Hasbro.
But again, show me what you got.
Exactly. I guess we'll see what happens. But people are jumping ship, I can tell you that, because there was another one. The former D&D vice president, Jess Lanzillo, she is now with White Wolf as the creative director. So this makes 2 departures and 1 firing. Yes.
Of basically the face of the game.
Yes.
And where, like on my YouTube feed, anything, I have it set so that it shows me anything that's gaming related.
Right.
Based on hashtags and whatever. But everything now is Daggerheart. I mean, nothing's D&D anymore. I mean, D&D is not even on there. So
right.
For a while, it was Shadow Dark.
Yeah.
For a while, it was the new D&D. Now it's all Daggerheart. And, what did they expect would happen when they finished this project? And, nobody's really come out and said, the new D&D, what was the deal? Why? Now, whether you think the game is bad or not, it doesn't matter. It's the new version of D&D. Are people leaving because there's writing on the wall, or there's something that they can't talk about? We don't know what NDAs were signed when these people left. I mean,
I would think that would be the case, but like you said, we'll never really know because
right.
They can't ever say anything like that.
Well,
but yeah.
I mean, never say never. I mean, there's stuff that about TSR from years ago that's been coming out, and you and I have talked about stuff like that. There are a couple of things that none of us will talk about, that happened, that we're just like, nope, taking that one to my grave. I mean, I know I'm in that boat.
Right.
I guess I can't speak for everybody, but there are just certain things that people don't need to know, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. But on the same token, there's a lot of stuff that came out that people didn't know about the hobby and what happened after Gary got ousted and all those years, and even some of the stuff before that. Eventually, it might all come out. Who knows? But I don't think I'm going to be alive to see it, to be quite honest. I think it's going to be a couple decades down the road. Well, maybe I'll see it, but who knows? I need more clean living, Drac. I have to find out.
There you go.
So
Clean living is the key.
I mean, I don't know who this Jess Lanzillo is, but all the power to her. I mean, you're a big vampire fan. I hear that vampire's making kind of a comeback.
It is, yeah, it is. Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse both are actually having kind of a little resurgence now. They both had new editions that have came out recently. So
yeah, I was a big fan of the generic World of Darkness setting.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, me too, because you could do so much with that.
Well, you're talking about somebody who used to play Chill, the original pace setter Chill, where you had investigators that would go out. I mean, kind of like Chill, and we played Call of Cthulhu too. So think of it in that vein, but you also had ties into the other books. So if you wanted to use, a vampire family from Louisiana, there it was. You just had to get that other book and do whatever. But when they did that relaunch of World of Darkness, there were a couple of books, I might still have them, that were all like ghost stories.
Oh, okay.
Or some kind of supernatural creature living in your apartment building or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those were cool. I like those. I didn't really get into vampire very much. I think we played a couple of times, but I never played werewolf and hunter. But I know it's popular, and the fact that it's kind of making a resurgence is, it's kind of cool. I mean, I've told you stories. We used to make fun of the vampire guys back in the day at Gen Con.
Right.
Because they like to LARP, like, right in the walkways. And
hey, vampire people take their LARPing seriously.
Yeah, they do take their LARPing a little seriously.
I am not one of those people, but more power to them, though.
Yeah. But anyway, tune into Cruising with Drac. Maybe I'll talk about it there.
Okay, there you go. Let's move on here. We've got some new D&D dice trays and towers that are coming from Fanroll. And these are paying homage to some legendary artwork. And these look flippin' amazing.
They look pretty cool. I'll give them that. Is there a price tag on these?
Yeah. If they're the, let's see, the dice towers are $19.99, and so are the dice trays actually. So they're $20.
That's a pretty.
Which is not bad at all, yeah.
Price. Yeah, that's a pretty good price. So you got Air Lotus. You got his cover from one of the basic sets with the green dragon. Then you got Larry Elmore, the controversial red dragon, and see previous episodes for our discussions on that.
Exactly.
And then the Jeff Easley skeletons coming out of the sewer, which is cool. I wish honestly, if they were going to pay homage to Jeff, I would have rather seen his red dragon instead of the
Yes, I don't know why they didn't do the red dragon.
Or the second cover for first edition D&D with the blue background with the wizard.
Oh yeah.
I always like that one from Jeff.
Yeah. But yeah, these are not bad for $20.
Yeah, and then they also have they have the Magister. So there's the towers and then there's the tray.
The tray, yeah, and they have different artwork. Yeah,
so the trays or the towers had the three that we just described, but then there's the trays. The one tray is the Magister. It's from a Forgotten Realm. That's a Forgotten Realm product. That one was Jeff. It's a bunch of skeletons and a wizard that's either summoning them or I think he's summoning them. Then there's the classic Elmore Red Knight with the red dragon. And then the last one is another Era Oldest. That one is, I think that was also in one of the basic sets.
Yeah, the expert set.
Expert set, okay.
From 81. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I think they look cool. Though I will say one thing though, I can't tell from the dice towers. I guess you can disassemble them. The one thing that I liked about some of these dice trays is you can the corners pin,
Yeah.
and then you can unpin them and they lay flat, so they sit flat in your backpack.
Yes.
If you're at a convention or something.
And these do that. They have the little snaps in the corners.
And they double as mouse pads.
Oh,
Now,
I didn't even think about that.
yes, because I needed a mouse pad one day, and I have a dice tray from the Avatar game, and I opened it. I thought, hey, can I use this? Now, here's the bad news about using something like this for a dice tray. If there is red in the picture, your mouse won't work over that color.
Really? Oh, well, that makes sense, actually, now that I think about it.
Yep.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, because I worked for a company once that did a bunch of mouse pads, and their logo was red, and they handed out these mouse pads, and everybody kept coming. We all got all these calls that said, "Hey, my mouse isn't working. And it was like everybody. And they hand out these mouse pads, and I said, "Okay." I took one look at it, and I'm like, "Ah, crap."
Oopsie.
So all those went in the trash bowl.
There you go.
So keep that in mind, folks. Yeah.
Yeah, go over to the FanRoll website, and you can order these today. They're actually available right now. The other big news in the RPG world right now is this mess from Diamond.
I've been following this pretty close.
It's a mess. I know we talked about Diamond Comics that filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah. I mean, comics is a kind of a weird word. They're more of a distributor. They're not. They're not a comic publisher. Now, so Diamond started out years ago as a comics distributor.
Yes.
So, but then as the gaming hobby grew, especially with the onset of the Die 20 or the OGL license, and the company, all these new publishers needed a way to get their products into the game stores, and then later on into Amazon and stuff. So Diamond was probably the primary distributor for a lot of different things. And if you go to Drac's article, there's this gigantic list of 128 companies, which I'm sure isn't all of them, that are either gaming or gaming related that are affected by this, which includes Marvel Comics and DC Comics.
Yeah, there's some big names on this list. So
what this is about? So back in January, Diamond filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and they asked the court for permission to sell off its remaining consignment inventory to pay creditors. Now, I'm not sure when that statement became public. It had to be only a couple of weeks ago. There's a precedence in U.S. law that says a company can do this. So here's kind of the rub as I understand it. If you are selling your product on consignment through a distributor, okay? So let's say I sell cars, and I have a car, and I give it to another company on consignment to sell it. Now, according to U.S. law, every piece of merchandise that you put on consignment, you have to include this statement, and it's don't ask me to remember what form.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Form XYZ52-9. I don't. But anyway,
it's UCC.1 financing statement. If you want to,
there you go.
Know exactly what it is. I put it in my article. I thought I talked about that.
So as long as you file that piece of paperwork on that item, then if the distributor files for bankruptcy, you get the item back. Here's the rub. You have to do it on every single piece of merchandise that they carry for you.
It's not a blanket thing. Like
it's not a blanket statement.
Every item they carry for you, you have to file one of these.
So think about this. Marvel Comics, Diamond's distributing Marvel Comics. They're distributing thousands and thousands and thousands of comics every month. And they would have to have a piece of paper for every single piece that they would sell. and that's just not financially sound.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah, and the same goes for gaming companies. Now, I don't know how many gaming companies they probably zoned out when somebody told them about this or whatever.
Right.
I don't know, but it sounds like almost everybody didn't sign this form, and because of that, the government says that if you file for bankruptcy, you can keep anything that you have on consignment and sell it, and don't have to pay the original owners of that product.
Right, and that's why
that money.
Diamond wants to do this, because they want to pay their creditors. The major one is Chase Bank. That's who they owe the most money to, it seems.
Right. Now, there's a couple of different things that have gone on in like the last week, and that is kind of shed a different light on this. Now, to add some perspective, most companies out there that have done this have been successful because they have the law on their side.
Yeah, there's a lot of legal precedents saying that this is legal to do. You can do this, and it's happened many times in the past.
Right. I couldn't tell you what types of businesses have been affected by it. All I've heard is that this is what they're, because people are like, is this legal? And unfortunately, yes, it is legal. So there's been a couple of companies that have stepped forward. I mean, a lot of them have gotten their own lawyers involved, okay? But there's a couple of companies that have stepped forward, and they're going to file a class action, some kind of class action lawsuit against Diamond because, and this is where it gets weird. First of all, either since or before this bankruptcy date in January, somebody bought Diamond, and they paid X number of millions of dollars for it. I don't know what that is, how much that was, or who it was.
I don't remember. It's not in this one. I did another article about it. I have to find it, but yeah.
Okay, so is there legal precedence that says something that makes this a moot point or gives it more credence? I'm not sure of that.
Yeah, don't know either.
Yeah, but the big thing that's come out in the last week is since they filed bankruptcy, they've been doing business as normal. They've been taking an inventory, and they've been paying out, paying back to the publishers their cut of the transaction. Like, business is normal. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, this strikes. So there's a bunch of companies that are trying to say, hey, look, we've been sending them products since January. So they're going to get to keep those products too, even though they filed this bankruptcy. Because I think they only just decided to do this about a month ago.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Then what about the stuff that I sent you in February, March, April, May? I'm just sending you my stuff so that you can sell it and not pay me?
Right.
What's that all about?
It's kind of a shitty move on their part to do this, because they had to know that they were going to plan to do this.
Right.
And they're just like, oh, yeah, send us your stuff. It'll be fine. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, somebody must have said that. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, I'm sure as soon as they filed Chapter 11, their phone was probably ringing off the hook, and they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna reorganize. Just keep."
It's gonna be fine, right?
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. Yeah. So then, now I don't know who is responsible for this crap move or brilliant move, depending on your point. But the court date is July 21st, which is smack dab in the middle of San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that on one of the
that's funny
threads that I read. So there's a couple of videos out there if you want to learn some more. Love them or hate them, the guys from Roll for Combat are in the middle of this, and the guy that runs that, Steve, he's been one of the people that is involved in this lawsuit. Also, if you watch Professor Dungeon Master, he's talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, he just did a really good video on it this week.
Yeah, and this is basically a stay tuned, because we don't know what's going to happen. Even though there's some precedence in this, this is going to mean, there's some of these smaller companies, they're going to be done. They're not going to be able to recover from this. You're talking about...
Oh, no.
tens of thousands of dollars of their product that they've already paid for, and then they're not going to see a dime back from it. This is a pretty big deal. I mean, everybody was worried about the tariffs. To be honest, this is worse.
Oh, this is way worse. Yeah, 100%.
Well, and then think of that too. I mean, what if they had, you got a company that had to pay, an extra 10% because of the tariffs, and now that money is unrecoverable, and now this. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good year for the game publishing world. So, but stay tuned. I mean, in 2 weeks, we'll probably know a lot more about what's going to happen. So.
Then Green Ronin decided, hey, we want to block this or do whatever we can do about this. We want our stuff back. You are not going to do this. So they started a GoFundMe to help with legal fees for this as they battle this out.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how many companies are going to kind of bond together on this.
Yeah, they did post an update that they are now joined with a group of other affected companies that a Maryland law firm is going to represent them to help fight this, because the bankruptcy court for Diamond Comic Distributors is in Baltimore, so that's why it's a Maryland law firm. They are joining with a group of these people. They didn't name names because they said it's not their place to name the names of the other companies, and we don't know how many other companies there are, but it sounds like the companies that are affected by this are not just letting it happen. They're fighting it as well as they can, but it's going to cost a lot of money because you're going to have to get a very specific lawyer to deal with this.
Right. That the U.S. attorney law guys are pretty expensive. I will say, I just jumped on the GoFundMe page. They're up to $31,000.
Yeah, I just looked too. I just wanted to see where they were at. 31,446 actually. So yeah.
And somebody, an anonymous guy, donated $1,000.
I saw that. So good on them.
So hey, we'll see what happens. They're not going to throw in the towel. That's for sure. But guys like Marvel and DC, they got to have some serious lawyers working.
I can only imagine the lawyers that Marvel and DC would have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they have a team of lawyers, and those lawyers probably have lawyers for those lawyers. So it will be interesting to see how this all works out. Elsewhere in happier news, looks like GaryCon badges are on sale.
Indeed, which reminded me I better get my butt out there and get one. So if you're going to GaryCon, today is the day. Now, I will say this. There are only so many badges, so the con sells out every year, but within 2 to 3 months before the show, people have to give up their badges because they can't go. So if for some reason you don't get a badge, just grab the GaryCon Facebook page, and you should be able to find somebody selling their badge. So, but it's one of the shows that I go to, and it is probably best show if you're a classic D&D gamer.
And then another convention in your neck of the woods is Gamehole Con, and they have their event list live as well.
Yes, event list went live, and myself and Matt Forbeck were Marvel superhero game again this year, and I'm pretty sure that after we do that, it's going to be posted as a free download.
Oh, nice.
So, can't make any money off of it. So, but that's fine. That isn't why I did it. So, so we're running that on Friday and Saturday. It's running a slot of it each day. So, actually, Drac, I am incorrect. Badges go on sale next Saturday.
Oh, for GaryCon. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. My bad. I don't know why I thought it was today, but it looks like it's next Saturday.
So the 19th
Correct.
would be okay.
At noon. So there's a silver badge, which is $135. Now, remember, you pay for a badge, and all the games are free. There are a couple of charity games, but again, those proceeds go to charity and not the convention. So there's silver badge $135. There's gold badges at $285. Platinum badges at $850.
$850.
And diamond badges at $2,000. Now,
no.
well, hang on, don't panic.
No, sir.
So with a gold badge, so every level of badge, there's a Saturday that you sign up for games. So the diamond guys get their first pick, the platinum guys get their first pick or the next pick, the gold guys get their pick, and then the silver guys get their pick. Now, each one of those, before the silver, they only get to pick 2 games. But there's some games that like people completely jump on, like Jim Ward's games used to be the number one thing of people trying to get in ahead of time. And there's only 31 badges for 31 diamond badges. So, but then a platinum badge, you get early hotel registration. Now, when hotel registration goes live for the silver badges, which there's thousands of those that are sold, by that time 99% of the rooms are gone. So if you get a gold or a platinum badge, you get to register at the on-site hotel early. Plus, there's a VIP reception for platinum and above on Thursday, and earlier event registration and stuff like that. For the diamond ones, you get everything early. You get hotel reservation early, event registration early. Before everybody else. So there are benefits to being that. And then plus, on top of all of that, if you got a non-silver badge the year before, you have the option to renew it.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to scramble to get it when that badge registration goes live. So they'll email you and say, do you want the gold badge again this year? And you say, yes, please. And then you pay them, and then you don't have to worry about trying to scramble and get a badge. And if you were a DM, you also get or a game master DM. You also get whether you're silver badge or any badges, you can get a option to also get early hotel registration. So it's a great show. A lot of very cool games. I encourage anybody that's ever been on the fence about going there to check it out. I've gone for the last 9 years, and I've never been disappointed.
So there you go, Gary Con and Gamehole Con. Go see Beeker.
And
as it were.
And Gary Con is in Lake Geneva. Gamehole Con is in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center, which is this ginormous building with this ginormous parking lot. It's just crazy. And Gamehole Con is more of a kind of like an everyone show, whereas I think Gary Con is more of the old school crowd.
Yeah,
there's newer school crowds there too, but Gamehole's pretty cool. The one thing I like about Gamehole, and I don't know if other cons do this. I'm sure they do. But I don't travel around the country anymore going to conventions. I did for a couple of years, but they have food trucks. So you can go out and go out to the food trucks rather than, and they're pretty decently priced, I will say. And the food's really good. And you don't have to pay convention prices for food, because it's one of the things I hate about Gary Con. Their on-site food prices are insane.
That's how Gen Con is too.
Yeah.
Never ever do on-site if you can help it.
Right. It's also a great Wisconsin relaxed setting convention. I really like the people that show up. I like the setting. The venue is just huge, and a lot of nice people. So both of those cons I go to. I do go to a couple other ones, but those are the main ones, and they're cool. I like them, so check them out.
Let's go to see what is on the comic book page. And I just want to point out that I added this just because you were on the show, because you always give me crap that we don't talk about comic books on the show anymore that we used to. So we're talking about comic books.
Talking about me?
I'm talking about you. He just as a little insider baseball, he gives me crap like on a daily basis, usually.
Well, there was one episode that you did with me, and you said made this big proclamation that we were going to be doing comic stuff like that, and then like a year goes by and I don't hear one comic story.
Well, now there's two. So are you happy?
Yeah, well, not unhappy. So.
There you go. Yeah, Marvel Zombies Red Band is a 5-book issue that's going to be coming out later this summer. You might be asking yourself, what does the red band mean? That means it's going to be mature content.
That was one of the biggest strikes that people said about the Marvel Zombies was watch a gory zombie movie once and then compare it to Marvel Zombies. Whenever somebody was getting eaten in the Marvel Zombies comic books, it was you never saw it. So
you will see it in this one.
Yeah, show me what you got.
Each issue is going to be in a poly bag, and it's going to be with a parental advisory warning on the front of it. You're not going to be able to see the cover. They kind of did this, if you remember the Marvel Vampire series they just had out, where vampires were taking over the Marvel universe. They did the same thing with those. Those were each in a bag and had that warning because those were explicit books too. So it's pretty much the same thing.
And I'm just getting those now on my Marvel.
They're so good,
but they are creepy.
Oh yeah, they are.
If I was a 10-year-old kid reading that comic, I'd probably have nightmares for a week. So I mean, don't sell yourself short. That was definitely a step outside the norm for Marvel by putting out that series. But there were some really good, and it's one of those that like dabbled in every issue of something. Like there was a Fantastic Four thing, there was Spider-Man, all these different comic books were part of the overall.
I have them somewhere. I don't know where they're at, but they're here somewhere.
And they were pretty creepy, but some good stories there too. So
the series is going to kick off, they said, with the genesis of the Fantastic Four. And this is going to be a parallel universe, so they're doing the parallel universe good old trope. The four intrepid heroes are going to return to Earth, not just with incredible powers, but also with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. The initial issue is going to explore how the heroes rise to become the champions as we know, but they're going to tear people from limb to limb as they succumb to the zombie plague themselves. Future issues are going to cover other pivotal Marvel events, such as the original Secret Wars, ensuing a blood-soaked journey through the most significant moments in Marvel's past. So this sounds pretty cool. Well, I might have to check these out.
Well, technically all the Marvel zombie comics has been in an alternate.
Well, that's true. True.
You know, I mean, so it's like, okay, well, they're just doing another multiverse,
right?
Which is fine. Which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But yeah, okay.
These are going to hit store shelves on September 17th, and then the second issue is going to follow soon after, October the 22nd. So I'm pretty excited for these. I might have to pick these up. It's been a while since I bought some comics, but I think they got me with these. Elsewhere, Dark Horse is coming out with a new D&D comic series called The Fallbacks.
And if you look at the pictures... Nothing but pretty people.
This artwork is doing nothing for me whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, it's like one of them is a very gorgeous looking gal in blonde hair with big smiles and not a scar on her, and then there's the dashing looking fighter, and then the whole group. Okay. Okay. I'm okay. I guess I don't have a whole lot to say there, but
these the characters are based off of. There was a novel that came out late last year, I think, called "The Fallbacks: Bound for Ruin." So it's the characters from those. It's Tess, the sly rogue, Anison, the human fighter, Cesarin, the human wizard, Lark, the tiefling bard, Baldric, the devil maker cleric, and Uggy, the Odiak companion, or Odiug companion, I should say. So yeah,
Uggy. They called him Uggy.
Uggy, because he's. Of course they did. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm not. I was excited for the Marvel Zombies, not so much for this.
I can't do Pretty Boy. I can't do Pretty Boy D&D comics. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not me. But hey, like anything, show me what you got. If you like the book, enjoy the comics. I mean, enjoy what you like. I did not read the book.
I did not either. So yeah.
Yeah. So, to me, it was too pretty of a cover.
October 15th is when these hit store shelves. So if you want to jump into this, there's your chance.
Now, Drac.
Yep. Yes.
I'm not ready with my own comic book story, but I will make a recommendation.
Okay.
So, do you remember the old Ultimate Comics?
I think.
So many years ago, Marvel it was another multiverse. It was what was the number? 1611, I think, was the number of the universe, whereas Marvel is 616.
Oh, got it.
And they did another version of the Marvel characters. That's where some of the animated movies came from. Like there was Avengers animated movie, Avengers 1 and 2. In that universe, there were a lot of characters that were the same as the regular universe. There was a Fantastic Four. They were a little tiny bit different. There was an Avengers with Iron Man, Steve Rogers, and Giant Man, and the Wasp. The Hulk was kind of like a semi-bad guy. I mean, he was just a killing machine. But there was a Spider-Man, and there was a Miles Morales Spider-Man. So now everybody knows that they're coming up with this new Marvel event, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening in that universe was there was this big thing where Doctor Doom got like god powers, and he combined all the multiverses into one gigantic, massive planet. And in the end, a bunch of the 616 heroes led by Steve Rogers saved everything and reset everything back to where it was. But the 1611 or whatever the number is universe was destroyed, except for two people. A guy called the Maker, which was their Steve Rogers Reed Richards turned evil, and Miles Morales. And Miles Morales ended up coming to the 616 universe. So Marvel is now rebooting the Ultimates because the evil Reed Richards calls himself the Maker now, figured out a way to rebuild the universe. But he's rebuilding it the way he wants to, and he purposely nerfed all of the superheroes that would have kept him from like ruling the planet. But some of them got through anyway. And there's a bunch of different comics now. There's an Ultimate Spider-Man, there's an Ultimate Avengers, there's an Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Wolverine, and they're once again different versions of those characters. And the Ultimate Spider-Man one, Spider-Man doesn't get his powers until he's into his 30s, and he's already married to Mary. And Tony Stark is like a teenager, and a couple other different like there's no Bruce Banner Hulk. There's a She-Hulk. There's like a She-Hulk character. Wolverine is basically just a killing machine in this universe, and a bunch of other cool manipulative changes that are, I think, very interesting if you've been into comics for a long time. They're doing it pretty well, and I like it. I would recommend it to anybody that was familiar with the original. And I'm sure I'm getting a little bit of this out of skew, but that's the basic premise. But if you enjoyed the original Ultimates comic books, because the Ultimates Spider-Man was actually really good, but in that version of the universe, he got killed, and then Miles Morales took over, which is kind of the premise of the Spider-Verse movies. So I recommend that series. So there you have it.
I will check that out. That sounds pretty awesome, actually. We do have one piece of news coming to us from on the screen. That is, the Commodore 64 is coming back. Sort of.
Wasn't it already?
Kind of.
I thought this was old news, to be quite honest.
No, this is different. There was a company came out not too long ago with a thing called the C64, which looked like a Commodore 64, but it was running emulation. This is not running emulation per se. This is called the Commodore 64 Ultimate, and what this is a Commodore 64 that is built with a Commodore 64 motherboard that's running the AMD RTX 7 FPGA. So that means it's doing a hardware emulation, not software emulation, like the others were doing. So this is actual hardware emulation because it's FPGA. I'm not smart enough into that emulation world to know exactly how an FPGA works, but I know anybody that's into emulation says you want to do FPGA because it's hardware and not software.
Right. It should, like, in theory, it would run your old cassette.
It will, yes. And that's one thing they pointed out. You can use, if you have a cassette deck, you can plug in the cassette deck and do that. If you have cartridges, you can plug in the cartridges and do that. They will work. This kind of evolved off of, there is a Ultimate cartridge that's out called the 1541 Ultimate, which FPGA'd emulated the 1541 hard drive, so you could rip games and put like the ROMs on a SD card and run it off of that 1541 and act like it was a floppy. So yeah, that is where this comes from. So they say that the key points is it's FPGA based hardware, so it's going to be a near perfect compatibility with all original 64 software and hardware. So any of your cartridges, your cassettes, and your disk drives even. So if you have a 1541 or 1581 disk drive, you can plug that in and it's going to work because it legitimately thinks it's an actual Commodore 64. The other big thing is going to be HDMI output too. So it's got HDMI built onto it, so it's going to be 1080p. So you shouldn't have any screen lag or anything because it should be fast enough to keep up.
And prices start at $299 for just the one that looks.
That's like the one that looks like a 64, correct? Yeah.
But then they have a $400 $499 version that's transparent with funny, creepy lights, and then there's another one with lights on it. But what I think is cool, because I'm on their shop page, is look at all the different activewear that you can buy. Like you can get the Commodore hoodie and the Commodore hat.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I know a couple of guys that were in Commodores. And,
Oh yeah, that's where I cut my teeth in gaming, is the Commodore.
Sure.
This news kind of comes off of the news that Christian Simpson, who a lot of people might be going, who the heck is that? He's actually better known as Frantic on YouTube. He has bought the rights to Commodore. He went with a group of people. He named some of the people, but he bought the rights back to Commodore because Commodore has kind of been in limbo lately, and it's gone through several different companies, and the decisions they've been making with the Commodore brand have not been that great. And he is basically like all of us that used the Commodore 64 as a kid. It's like, that is like my sweet spot for, like, I have such fond memories of the Commodore 64, as does he. So he managed to get the rights, and then that's kind of where this sprung out. This is partly from that. He says he wants to honor the past, but innovate into the future. So I really want one of these. And I would just get the $299 one that looks like the old Commodore 64, because I'm not a big LED neon person. I don't think I would want one that would glow and do all the fancy schmancy stuff. I'm just like, whatever. $300 though, that seems a little steep, but for what it does and for it actually being hardware FPGA emulation, I guess 300's not a horrible price. They're actually looking at this to come out in either November or December of this year. So this should be out soon. So you can go pre-order it now. Keep in mind, once you pre-order, they take your money. It's not like, they'll take it when they ship it. No, you order this, you're going to get dinged for the 300. So keep that in mind. But yeah, if I can...
Always have buyer beware.
Exactly, and remember, this is tech. Keep that in mind. But the brains behind all this have been in the Commodore 64 emulation scene for a while, so this is in good hands. I think this is going to turn out amazing. So we'll see what else they do. But there you go, Commodore 64 Ultimate. Now I just gotta figure out how I can justify spending $300.
I hear the blood banks are.
Well, there you go. Maybe I'll go do that. Let's jump into our week in gaming. See what the heck we've been up to. Myself, not much, unfortunately. The past couple weeks have been my crazy weeks that I always have. So basically, I've just been cruising with Drac, which I know you were there, so you can talk about that. So what else have you been doing other than cruising with me?
Well, like I said before, I got the stomach flu. Lost 11 pounds, which It sounds good on paper, but damn, I don't want to do it that way.
Not the way to lose the pound, sir.
No. Yeah, Cruising with Drac every Friday. Next week assuming server merge doesn't.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Will be our 60th episode. I'm 85% sure. Because I didn't necessarily count the episodes that I forgot to do the sound on.
60-ish, so sure.
Yeah. But we're having a good time. My buddy Phil, his daughter Emily, every once in a while, special juice shows up. That is Saphira and Beavis. Yeah, it's been going good. We are 18th level.
So that'll be some fun time too. Yeah. Yep. We just hit 16 last night, actually.
Yeah, and we were doing Sharn, and we're gonna go to 30. I think. Yep.
I think that was the plan. We're going to 30, and then we're gonna reincarnate, and that'll be our second live. No, third live. The third live.
Third. Yeah. Third. But so I'm torn about certain things with going all the way. What's the cap now? 34.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, you get the cap, and then what do? I mean, you can keep doing all these, because every expansion that comes out is a legendary aspect to it.
Right.
Fine. I don't know, because I got guys at cap, and I'm like, well, what do I do next with them? I mean, I can reincarnate them, sure.
I mean, I guess we could just do 20 again, and then do it then, and then by that.
I think Phil wanted to go to cap.
Okay.
Because I don't think he has any characters at cap. So.
Oh, got ya. Okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of different quests that we can do.
Right.
Epics too, and we'll head over to the Forgotten Realms and all that. But that should be cool. I have been running my Tales of the Valiant game for some friends of mine. They are helping me test my Tales of the Valiant conversions of a bunch of old modules that I wrote. They just finished the second one. Well, technically there's 5, but there's only 3 that I have done on paper. So the first one is it's called Monster in a Swamp. It's up for sale on Fantasy Grounds in the Fantasy Grounds Forge. Please check it out. It would be Tales of the Valiant and 5th edition compatible. If you want to use it with 5th edition, you just got to relink all the monsters. That's all. Because there's no special monsters. It's just the Tales of the Valiant versions of them. Because I like Tales of the Valiant. I picked up the starter set at Free RPG Day, which I'll talk about in a minute. But doing the second one, re-editing up the second one with my notes. That one's called Temple on an Island. So I have Monster in a Swamp Temple. And then the third one is Drac's favorite because he helped me playtest that years ago. That is Girl in a Well. And Girl in a Well we're testing that one right now in Fantasy Grounds, and we'll see what happens. And after that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Tales of the Valiant. Probably take a couple of more of my older adventures and convert them. We did Free RPG Day. We talked about that on Cruising with Drac a little. But that was a big haul. I went to 3 different game stores. You went to 2, right?
Yes. Yep. Just 2.
Yep. A lot of good products. Marvel Superhero, Cobalt Press had stuff, Dragonbane.
Yeah, there was some good offerings this year.
Yeah, there was some good stuff. And the stores that I went to also offered a discount if you bought regular RPG stuff. So picked up the Tales of the Valiant box set, picked up the Marvel starter box set, and a book that I've been looking for a while. So that was cool. So nice, fun day. I ran my first 3 sessions of Shadow Dark, which ended in a horrible death of one of the characters, who pretty much did a kamikaze and was on the wrong end of that fight. But it played well, and I think that there was a couple of times where, because if you don't know, in Shadow Dark, there's a real-time mechanic of how long your torch or light spell works. And no characters can see in the dark, and all the monsters can. So it can be a challenging time. And so basically, I take my phone, I set my timer for an hour, I hit the button. And that includes everything. That includes table talk, that includes people deciding on what they want to do. To get
you literally have an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, actually, if you do the light spell and you roll a natural 20, you get 2 hours, because that happened to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but there was one encounter where they were right in the middle of the fight, and all of a sudden my phone goes beep, 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 beep. And then they're like, scramble, somebody light a torch, somebody try to spell. Because they had a wizard and a cleric at the party, so them could have did a light spell, but the guy that got a torch lit first. So a little bit of a thing there, and we had almost a party wipe, and then we had one character go from like 12 hit points to negative 40.
Jeez.
And but it was fun. I liked it. I would love to run some more. I am having a challenge finding game modules, adventures that I like. The one I ran was a converted one from Old School Essential, because I thought it worked well, and it did work very well. But I also bought one off of the Fantasy Grounds store and I instantly regretted my purchase. And I'll talk to you about it off air, Drac. So I'm being very cautious about because it's a different type of game, even than 5th edition or even than 1st edition. So it's a different strategy. It's a different everything. So we'll have to see. We're playing again in a couple of weeks. I might run the. Have you read the Quick Start Adventure?
I have.
Okay. I might have to run something else though if you can make it to the next game.
It's been a while since I've read it, but I have read it.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's random effects in there too. It's not necessarily
right.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so there was that, and other than that, prepping for server moves, baby.
Yeah, that's a fun time there.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I might have to spend. I don't have any other games this weekend, so I'm gonna spend my evening tomorrow watching a movie and doing more maintenance. I got most of my characters balanced out as far as the gear that they're taking over, but this thing with the monster rewards,
right?
I wasn't planning on, so now I got to go back and I got to.
Yep. I have to do that too with all my guys just to make sure I don't have any monster manual rewards that I need to grab.
Right. But the extra 100 slots actually poses a different dynamic for me because I was gonna. I have 2 artificers and they're basically both the same, but both of them have really good gear, and no space on them, and then I was out of bank space. So now I think I'm gonna take one of them, put all of his gear in the good gear in the storage space, and then I'm going to delete him. And that's just one character I have to carry over. Because I think I've deleted 7 characters so far on Kyber, which is my main server. I think I deleted half of my guys on Cannith. So my guys on Cannith, I think I'm moving to Cormyr, except one. And then I have one guy on Ark. He's coming over. He's going to Cormyr too. So we may have to do some cruising on Cormyr. Ooh, that's a great episode.
Ooh, yeah, it is actually.
Great. Cruising on Cormyr.
I like it.
So we might have to do something.
I like it. So
we're moving to Shadowdale, everybody.
Yes,
so,
that's yep.
And anybody that takes Draculetta will be hunted down. Indeed,
I swear to God, if anybody takes that before I get home,
we're gonna bribe. No, I shouldn't say that.
We're going to do something. Oh, I'm going to be so mad if I get home on Tuesday.
We will send you thousands of spam emails through the system if you take Draculetta.
We'll do something. So, oh my God. We'll see how this turns out. But
yeah, I was lucky enough that I guess they were lucky enough or not popular enough that nobody took Evil Beeker on the servers that I wanted. But
and then my other ones, I'm pretty sure they're odd enough names. I'm pretty sure nobody will take.
Yeah,
but
I mean, sometimes it's really hard. And I've talked about it before. I have a bunch of characters that were named after female serial killers.
Right. Right.
and then but lately,
which is amazing.
But lately I've been delving in like ancient gods and demons, like with really obscure names that nobody thought of.
Right.
And those tend to be free, so we'll see.
It'll be interesting for sure. We currently have 10 supporters over on our Patreon. If you would like to help support DDO players, you can go over to our donations page and you can help support the Players Alliance. That is the podcast network that we are a part of. All that money is used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to help pay for the live shows when we do those live. Lotra Players is actually live right now as we're recording this. That's why this one is recorded and wasn't live. If you would like to donate for all of the above, but you don't use Patreon, that is fine. Some people have done that. We appreciate that as well. Just shoot me an email, drac@ddoplayers.com, and we can talk about several different ways that you can do it. Also, reminder, Gen Con coverage is coming up in a couple weeks. Don't have a sponsor this year. It's really expensive. If you would like to help cover some of those costs, once again, email me, drac@ddoplayers, and we'll talk if you want to. You don't have to, but if you do, we appreciate it. We also appreciate when you leave us reviews. We didn't have any this week, but it helps us out a bunch. All you got to do is drop us a review on your favorite podcasting app of choice, and then if you do that, just let us know that you left a review, and then we'll read it on the air. And for the people that are asking, working on Spotify, I think I might have found a workaround, but I'm not sure yet. So we should be on Spotify soon. I know everybody wants us on Spotify. I want us on Spotify. I'm working on it. We don't have any featured comments. Once again, leave a comment on either the YouTube video or the post over on the site, or you can even leave it over on the DDO forums in the creators and makers section, and we'll feature that on upcoming episode, just like emails. podcast@ddoplayers.com if you'd like to email us, and we'll talk about that email on the air too. Players Alliance has 2 live shows. This here show, DDO Players News, record times vary whenever my schedule works out. Poor Pine-Leaf, he puts up with a lot of crap from me, but here we are. And then every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. You can check out Lotro Players News, basically this show, but for Lotro. That is all can be found over on our live show page, which is ddoplayers.com/live. So that's going to wrap it up for this week. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up here?
Nothing but good luck to everybody next week. Like I said before, stay calm, stay focused. May all your attack rolls be crit.
You did have to throw that in there, nice. So yeah, once again, like Beeker said, stay calm. We're all in this together. We'll all get through it together. And I will put a curse on you and your family if you take Draculetta on any of the servers. So just remember that. So we're gonna wrap the show up. We like Beeker said, may all your attack rolls be crits. And may your RNG not be like mine and be crappy.